What's going on, YouTube? I don't know if any of you guys watched this Fox News interview with Kamala Harris. I definitely didn't watch it, definitely not live, but I watched good chunks of it and clips throughout the day and all this. I mean, if you want to go watch it, go watch it. You're not going to glean anything really out of it. I feel like we're living through a movie or some weird dystopian thing. I don't know if anybody's watching this that has watched the movie V is for Vendetta, V for Vendetta, whatever it's called. And I don't know if you remember the news anchor that they have, who's like the party news anchor that basically is just a propagandist for the government. And he just, every time something happens bad, they just completely make up a lie and roll with that. But we've been at that point. It's not like we're just now here, but we're there where we just. And it's not just one thing like in that movie, but it's both sides. It's insane. Like you can't even keep track of it anymore. And I feel like, I mean, it doesn't worry me that much because honestly, in my personal humble opinion, I don't think you should care or listen to most of these people that much. If you're watching this video right now, you really shouldn't care that much what I'm saying. This is kind of just like try to be informative, try to be a little entertaining with it, make your own decision type thing. Do not just listen to people on the internet or on TV and just absorb their opinion without checking what they're saying. We are at a point in time where it's like, what's the analogy? Two ships passing in the night type thing, where we just have the Republicans and the Democrats just, I guess it would be like if both of the ships' crews came to the deck and were screaming into the night, and they just yell at each other as they pass. They can't even see each other. They don't listen to anything the other person's saying. And then every once in a while, somebody fucking blows a cannon off at the other side and tries to fucking take one of them out. There is no convincing the other side at this point. I don't know if we've gotten so far that there will be no convincing. I don't know what it would take to convince somebody who thinks the opposite of you as a person. Like if you have an idea and they have the opposite idea, I don't know what it would take to convince them. Me personally, I feel like I'm a relatively reasonable person. I like to think that at least if I have a belief, I will depending on the setting, I'm obviously going to defend it to the hilt if I think I'm right and I have a really motivated reason to believe that. If I don't really care that much. I can't remember. My dad used to have a thing he would say where it sounds stupid, but he would say stuff about don't put your flag up over things that don't really matter. We have hit levels of put the flag up over every fucking thing possible. I don't care what it is. If my side believes this, I will defend it to the death. I will die on every hill. It doesn't matter what it is. But getting back to this whole interview, that's where I was going with the analogy and everything. I watched good chunks of the interview. I watched, I don't know, it wasn't even 30 minutes, only 20 some minutes long. Go watch it yourself. You tell me. You come back, watch this video later, tell me what you think. My personal opinion. Obviously, there is no such thing as unbiased. It's not possible. Everybody has their own bias. My biased opinion that I think is relatively down the middle-ish, middle right, definitely, somewhere in there, is it was pointless and Kamala Harris didn't look that good. She didn't answer almost any questions. That's classic stuff. I'm not going to ding her really for not answering the question. But the thing I want to go after at that point is you open Twitter and I watched a bunch of videos of people basically reviewing this interview and dissecting it and stuff. And you got people on the right saying it's a disaster, she's fucked, it's over, it's done, she's terrible, obviously. What you would expect them to say. That's what they're going to say. They're on the opposite side. That's what's going to come out of their mouth, obviously. I don't think it was disastrous. I don't think you want to go that far. I just don't think it was good in any way. Like, I don't think anybody watches that and comes away. If they were truly down the middle observer, unbiased observer that literally had no skin in the game at all, and they watched it and they said, give me your opinion, I would say, my guess would be they'd be like, that wasn't, I didn't get anything out of it, and she seemed like she just talks around every single question and won't answer anything. That's where I would go. Like I said, politicians do it all the time. That's kind of what it is at this point. The interview game is just, if I don't like the question, I just talk in circles around you until we move on to the next question. Obviously, it's Fox News. The other news outlets are calling it a testy interview, or whatever. You got the Republicans saying, worst thing they've ever seen, terrible she's done. And then you have the Democrats saying, wow, she did amazing. She answered every question. It's like we're living in two separate realities. That's why I was going with the ship analogy. Reality is somewhere in the middle, but depending on who you're listening to talk, they are just removed from it completely. Like, what's his name? The guy off Shark Tank. The guy who owned the Dallas Mavericks. What's his last name? Mark Cuban. He's tweeting about, and he's hardcore lefty at this point. I feel like he's leaned pretty hard into like loving Biden and Kamala now too. Shark Tank was sweet though. I still love that show. I mean, it wasn't his show, but it was a good show. He is tweeting about how great she did and how like there's other left Twitter people, basically like news anchors and things like that, and media personalities, whatever you want to call them, tweeting about how brave it was that she went into this hostile environment of an interview, blah 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 blah. Look, if you're trying to be impartial, you're going to say yes, Trump goes into every single interview except the Fox interviews, basically, and they're testy. Like, Fox is the Republican news network. It's the right-wing one. All the rest of them, pretty much, that are cable news or anything like that, are left-wing. Yes, that's pretty much the truth. The mainstream ones, maybe the New York Post or something, one of those random online newspaper-y type things, whatever. Was the interview testy? Yes, of course. It's the fucking Republican guy asking the Democrat guy who he doesn't want to win questions. Did she answer the questions? No. What did you think was going to happen? She didn't do good. Good would be you answer the question in a good way. You know, you answer it well, and you're like, oh, that's a good point, actually. And maybe you make the interviewer look a little stupid. When you just dance around the question, and in all fairness, Trump does this all the time too. It like I said, it is what it is. When you dance around it, it makes you look like you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't actually have a position on it, or you don't have a firmly held belief about it. In my opinion, that makes you look stupid, and like you don't know what you're talking about, and like I don't think I would want you to be leading me through anything, period, ever. They did this with the opening question about immigration. Basically, he asked her how many people she thought came in to the country under her administration, and she basically just deflects for 30 seconds and then brings up Donald Trump, which she does almost to every question, is just circles on back to Donald Trump, which he kind of goes after at some point about, hey, you're the vice president right now, Biden is the president right now, what are you going to do? And she just goes, well, Donald Trump's running for president. It's like, okay, that's not what I said. I don't know if I've ever had a conversation in person with somebody who acts like this, because it would obviously it'd be pointless. You're not getting anywhere. You're not getting any information out of them. You can't even figure out what they think, because they just refuse to give you any substance at all. And then you have her side saying she did amazing, and then obviously the Republicans saying she did bad. My personal opinion, I don't think it was awful. It just wasn't good. It was inconsequential, I would think, and just kind of annoying to listen to, because what's worse to listen to than just word salad coming out of somebody's mouth? I don't know. And right before I make this video, I got Twitter. I don't know if you guys know who Don Lemon is. Old Don Lemon from CNN. I guess allegedly disgraced news anchor for CNN that, like I said, allegedly, I think he got fired for sexual assault allegations, where he like was grabbing his dick and then like rubbing it in a dude's face or something like that, like grabbed his dick through his pants and then like smeared it in the guy's, like rubbed it all over the guy's face or some shit like that. I don't know. Allegedly, he makes a video and he's criticizing the Fox News anchor guy and Fox News as a total, being like, you're lying to the American people. These clips are taken out of context, blah, blah, blah. It's like, one, you came from CNN, boss. You don't get to complain about clips getting taken out of context. That's not a thing you get to do. All All the news networks do this where they take clips out of context. The whole internet is a compilation of clips taken out of context. I don't know where we go from here. You're not going to fix it. It's always going to be out of context unless you go watch the full interview. That's why I said go watch the full interview. You make your own decision about it. You let me know what you think. If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. Tell me why. I'd like to see you explain it to me. Because then maybe I can change my opinion. You give me a good enough reason, I'll gladly change my opinion. Do I think I will right now? No, because I watched the interview. Didn't look that good. That's my reaction. You want to explain to me how it actually was good? Please do. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. It's Friday. Finally going into the weekend. One more video this week, and we got 50 subs, baby. Appreciate all you guys watching it, especially if you're watching this till right now at the very end of the video. Thanks a lot. And if you're not subscribed and you're still watching at this point somehow, subscribe. Come back. Catch you guys then.